my father, Ricky, he's the one that said call it hip life. You need to own it, make it Ghanaian. I say yeah, life from high life.
Grandpapa, do you think the genre is dead?
No, it's not.
At some point, you joined a group that's the VVIP. How did it start?
It started as a joke. When I came home, I was a grown man. And so it really intrigued me why some people had a buzz about the way that I talk. Me, I'm more British. Me, I'm the best ever happy with you. After me, I was saying, me bro, free so.
Okay, I want to win artist of the year.
You for did Ghana.
It's between
Senior, welcome to You For Day the Ghana. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation. I didn't dream that this was going to come true, but yeah, it has. on You For Day the Ghana's behind the scenes, what we do is we talk about the behind the scenes of what happens in the music industry, and I know that as the pioneer, as the pace setter, the founder of Hiplife, you'd have a lot to share. Senior,
thank you.
Okay, I want to win artist of the year.
It is going to be a tough one. Stoneboy's been he's been working like a mule. Kim Paluta is definitely eligible too because he's also put in a lot of work. But they are both eligible.
I agree with you. Okay, Senior, tell me about yourself, like where you were born, your upbringing, and all that, Senior.
I was born in the United Kingdom. I did some of my schooling in Ghana, lived in New York. So I'm tri-continental. So I'm literally between New York, UK, Ghana.
Around 94, and about Ghana.
About 93, 94.
93, 94, and about Ghana. And that was around the time you started making music.
No. I was making music way before I came home.
All right.
And then I'm New York, more Africa, and then I'm UK. Yeah, your group cry, Party à la Maison, PLZ. People don't know my history, and sometimes it really amazes me because they seem to only know from Hiplife. We was opening for Das Effects now. People can see us smoke more now. Ultramagnetic MCs. And then I'm crying shows. I can see it. If you go on my Instagram,
yep.
I think a few ago I released some old footage of myself. Met me there, Sandu.
I would be very glad because when I checked your profile, I was like, I'm going to have a conversation with Reggie. I need to know some facts about him. I know some facts about him. Say Mathieu Reggie, sir, but our documentation like culture in Ghana and Shada and yes, sir. So I checked one or two.
I mean, it's understandable. Says Siano, social media, but it's me,
exactly.
History.
That is why behind the scene is very I think that this thing is something that is very important to me because people don't know and they just sit down and they see the surface of it and they judge.
Right.
Because only say, oh, okay, they Reggie, you won't Waakye, and I'm movie by it. But na Ghana, sir, I didn't know slay. You get what I'm saying? So
now, the thing though is that people don't. When I came home, I was a grown man.
We're all rappers. It don't matter how large this one is. Everybody should be given a chance to go off or try to prove themselves up on stage. And they,
I was already grown, and also the affection of my accent when I speak, it never ever swayed from me and my language, and so it really it has always intrigued me why people had, well, not everybody, why some people had a buzz about the way that I talk, because for somebody who was born in the West, who was raised Pan-African, I'm more British, I'm the best ever happy with you. How do you dare question my authenticity? But do you understand me? It's like it's a no-no. Because what would tell when I was here, bro, for now? Obi can't profit crowd no tea and I was no. After maybe if you have reached out, but I may rap you a tree. I saw to the day hip life. I hear the movement. After me, I was saying, my bro, from so. You know,
See,
but you know, it's a complex. It's an
yeah,
inferiority complex
yeah,
that they have, and yes,
100%.
and they don't seem to realize this. And if I had any if I had any hang-ups about my being African, then I would have just stayed rapping in English.
Yeah,
But I am the one that actually flipped the whole story the other way.
I
So
don't.
I think it's maybe I will be the plan, maybe I the visa bouncing out or they family. My father, Ricky,
Yeah,
the kite there our tears said me rap poetry. It blew him away. Because he knew I could speak Cree, but he didn't know that I could. I had
you
such a
could.
brick where I makes me the rapper crack on.
I'm
And
imagining how proud he was going to be. Like, yeah,
this is how he came. He's the one that said don't call it hip hop. He's the one that said call it hip hop. It was his concept. I say you need to own it, make it Ghanaian, make it closer to home. I'm not kind of say life from high life. That's
grandpapa,
how people. Aye.
grandpapa. I've heard bits and bits about your dad. Tell me
Yeah.
about him. Tell me about him.
My father, the legendary fashion designer and a philanthropist, Ricky say, my father also, just like me, lived in the West. My father made clothes for superstars like Isaac Hayes, Diana Ross, F. Lee Bailey, you name it.
Wow.
Yes. And my
Wow.
father did for fashion almost exactly what I did with music. So I started and or hit and obey because of his Pan-African self. My father was a strong compromise. My papa, he was the first Ghanaian, I think, and I think I'm right. He's the only Ghanaian to ever go on hunger strike.
Why?
That's how you got the trade fair cleaned up.
Wow.
Yep. And you don't
Wow.
believe me, you could go check the history. The footage used to be with the GBC, but it caught fire. So we lost all of that stuff. But Uncle JJ Rollins, all of them, they know him. They came there to help him weed the place. The wealth, snakes, they had been left. And my father, being that he was a strong and Krumais, he said, look, man, I cannot be alive and see this place be as is. Oh, what bad TV swinging? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and that's how he that's how the trade fair became. It got back up.
I'll really go into this deeply.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Me and Fendi
You
are
can
going.
ask some of the older folks. Yeah.
Now, you kind of saying starting hip life. Did any artists back in the days help you as a like? Was it just you doing the thing and I said, I said, oh, let's start this movement?
Yes, DJ Rab, may he rest in peace. My brother DJ Rab, and his story is in the works. A documentary about him is loaded. Yeah, he definitely was instrumental in the story. Cole House, another brother, another guy, he's Ghanaian, also from New York. I'm not sure what Becky. Yeah, podcast and of
Okay.
course my brother Zach Mallet. But as far as music artists, it wasn't. It was more of a collaboration. Like example, my younger cousin is Sydney, right? Because you're asking about music. So
Wow.
Sydney's my cousin. So Sydney was put on
Okay.
through his uncle via me.
From a mother side or
My father.
father side. All
Yeah.
right. Was he in the States with you or he was here?
No, he was born here. He grew up here, and when I came home, he was here. I met him when I came home.
I never saw any collaboration between the two of you guys.
Yeah, you did. I did make not sure. I did it with him.
Ah. Yeah, come and
And I should.
sure you did it with Sydney.
Or yeah, let me see. Yeah, become an show.
What were some of the challenges that na will face it? Because like somebody who has come from the US to do like and you start doing music.
UK. I came home from the UK.
Sorry, from the UK to do music. And it's not just doing music, starting a whole new movement. There would have been some serious challenges. Can you share some of the challenges, please?
Not really. I, I always and I repeat this. I tell people all the time. I had already made my bones in the music. I had already faced my struggles in the West.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
i.e.,
Okay.
the
Okay.
UK, America. So it was, I had already done that. In Ghana, it was so easy
Oh,
because my father was the executive producer, and so everything was paid for. Studio now pay yes, video now, yeah, everything was done. So I am
okay.
blessed. I am very blessed.
At some point, you joined a group that's the VVIP.
Yes, the legendary VVIP.
How did
Well,
it start?
VIP that became VVIP.
Yeah.
It started as a joke. It started as a joke. Yeah, my life, right? It started as a joke on social media, on Twitter.
Okay.
So I tweet, let me say, I'm a out there, brother, to me. I've been looking for that tweet. It will be there somewhere, but I got to figure out how to find it. So that time, the normal day I'll be to drop set Promsy a free group name. So it was my joke idea. Say me be tweety say see how there's Promsy a free group name. Yeah, mama mention and it was like a joke,
I saw it.
right? If
I
you're
saw
on
it.
a man for starters or more just so. Hey,
I,
Kabefu, hey, can you
I
do no
saw
more?
it.
So it's a nipa do now man or more sponsors move no. Into a free hormone na me free. I'm say me free zeal.
Yeah.
And na me catch zeal say. Charlie, me tweety bibi ba response no. Into I was say yeah juma because for years I never did a collaboration with you guys.
Yeah.
And you guys have been close, we've been friends forever.
Yeah.
Now me say see the social media, sisi grown acquire no. Yenya attention by this tweet. Inti no one say be releasing nyom no na nyom no say da be fa.
To be fat straight.
Inti yan kan sure almost say me be joining group no. Cause I side control beba.
Yeah.
Aha, inti
To the
almost
bias of
inti sa no that time na prodigal, I'm a prodigal in New York.
all
And
right.
I see you born a man here. And all say any because I dream there I am in I pay. And you see Munti VIP no, and I'm say Dini the man says son and question.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, just another V and
Is that
count.
another via become?
Abeka home. So marketing be yanko point she should be
VVIP
back to
was
back.
very successful.
Very. And
Very
in the history of Ghanaian music, it probably has to be one of the most prolific mergers of two brands.
yeah.
Obianye be that.
VVIP was very
Obianye be that.
successful.
And people, always they're quick to forget. I'm with my terms I've and buy almost I'm say, hey, we need.
William, the incrown and we akwala body akwala boy biara say or
That's
number
my
one.
son. Yeah, that's my son. It's
Okay.
called the Book of Hiplife.
The Book of Hiplife. That's your son.
Yeah, that's my son. Well, he's grown now.
You
Yeah, but
see,
that's my
the one
son.
on your profile.
Yes, that's him.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. Does he have any isobeyendum?
No, he's a footballer.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I know you have a football line.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, VIP. Make I enter school.
Yeah. Oh, Skolum, Alaji, Selfie, Dogoyaro, Book of
Oh,
back to back. Back to
wow.
back.
So let me ask: did it really hurt the Reggie Rockstone brand to a certain extent? Was it a blessing to the Reggie Rockstone brand?
It's this is something that people always ask me, and I need to tell them.
Yeah.
It was more than good to the Rockstone brand.
Okay.
A generation of kids who otherwise did not even know my story. Up till today, when I go certain places, kids see me and they say, and you're VIP, VVIP guy in here. They don't even know me as the Reggie. I mean, they know me as Reggie Rockstone, but their story, it begins with me from VVIP.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking if it
It
erased
it
that kind
it
of.
it did not only make me more relevant, it actually kept me in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it reinvented me, and you know, a whole new side of me. You know, because when you listen to Reggie Rockstone in VVIP, I
Yeah.
represent a different style.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
rap is totally different. It's more commercial. It's
Yeah.
more family friendly,
Yeah.
Ghana friendly. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. You know, I want your mother to dance. Yeah, and rap it, it just hits. Zeal, the
I think
chorus line, the bad. No, I don't know.
that's where it created the a bit of because yeah, and I knew the Reggie brand, it was a different step. I said we're moving from
Yeah.
a different to
You
a
see,
whole
you
new
have to.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah, me try no kakra. So
yeah.
funny enough, that's why people were talking because people were enjoying the Reggie brand.
Well,
So
actually, this is not true. The reason why I could tell you this is up until I joined VIP, I wasn't putting out no music. So everything that you knew was from the past.
yeah, I understand, but some people
Yeah,
were
but
enjoying the
the
past.
past remains there. It doesn't change.
Yeah. However, going into VVIP, now people didn't know. It is just the fear of the unknown. They didn't know.
Well, the music would have to speak, and it spoke. So
And he spoke exactly.
yeah,
So as a kasa, and then people were like, "Oh, okay, there is still what I said," because some people
yeah.
try that thing and it doesn't go
Within
well.
within two hits, they totally forgot that it was Reggie Rockstone.
That is
It
what I'm
became
saying.
VVIP.
It became VVIP. How did they end the
It
VVIP?
it never ended. We just haven't put out music. It never
Ah,
ended. So you know, whenever we decide to go back in the lab, we can. It's a
okay.
brand that we created. VIP is a different brand from VVIP. So when I'm in VVIP, I am Reggie Rockstone, a part of VVIP.
Wow.
Yeah,
When I was in secondary school, I remember I made a song with KK Fosu, and I
yeah.
performed that song on stage. What?
Mm,
Reggie,
yeah.
Fami Bone, Cheme,
It's a hip life classic. Yeah.
Enchumuda,
No. It's one of them timeless. It's timeless.
Enchumuda.
Yeah.
Why KK Fosu? Did you, as a Utie beat now, say no, wait, KK na.
No. Not KK story is another beautiful story. KK was brought on through Mensa.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mensa produced that song. Yeah.
okay.
He produced that song when he was about 16 or 17 or
Wow,
18. He was a teen. He was still in his teens. And
wow.
he's the one that suggested that KK comes in. So, you know, I wasn't even there when KK laid his vocal.
Okay,
Yeah. And he just brought his
just
magic
went
to it.
say boop.
Once again, God did his thing.
I think that nobody does hip life like a Shasi.
Yeah. That's because it's the golden era of hip life.
Exactly. And people try to do it these days, but entisa.
Well, I mean, and some red done it and down here. It's been just the same. I was saying, SSR. And SSR
Do
now,
you
share.
think the Jenna is excuse me to say is dead?
No, it's not. As long as Sarkodie and Black Sharif and all of them are still doing it in their languages, and then it's the same. Hip life, that's the foundation. When anytime you hear Sarkodie, medical, whoever rapping in Tree or whatever dialect, that's the foundation of hip life. So it's
So
not that. It's
so
just
it has been
the name,
evolved.
yeah, it has evolved and it hasn't been curated. It hasn't been maintained as far as the brand. But people like him, Fim, he's holding it up really strong.
Yeah,
I mean, when they asked
yeah.
brother Blacko what kind of music he does, he said, "I do hip hop and high life." And
And
what do
that's
you
hip
think that
life.
is? That's hip life.
And that's
Yeah,
hip life.
yeah.
So right now, Wobeka say any song that has rap in it a Ghanaian song piano what kidnapping jom na hip life or po hip life ma.
Well, that's entirely to who gives birth. You name your child, or to
Yeah,
who one or to Benny. So
yeah.
to whom it is who's going to tell you what kind of music they make. If you ask me, then I could tell you. But Obia, so Kim Paluta, he's the only one that could tell you this is hip life or this is Afro or whatever. He could tell you what he says it is what it is.
So what he says it is, and
Yeah.
yeah, also what you take.
Yeah. If why will ban our friend Jacob, Mayor Dan Kokase, your friend is here. What's the matter?
Yes, yeah. But you see, I'm saying this because the BBS ho what be fa also me betune the info from. Tessa, want to mean be fa the into the info from.
That's life though. I mean, of course, we're gonna side eye you if it's not, it don't make no sense, but it is your birthright, whatever you want to call what you make.
Beautiful.
So,
Like I said, I need the right word. Extremist when it comes to play Ghana.
right.
That's how me person me exaggerate it.
Right.
Because I believe in that. I was like, thank goodness for once I deal with Abba.
Yeah,
And I supported it.
something somebody had to say something.
Yeah, and I supported it.
Yeah, shout out to Small God and everybody else.
So I will ask this question and I will direct it to you because I'm having a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that more the pioneers of your new and your way are partly to be blamed for the fact that Ghanaians are not listening to more Ghanaian music?
No.
Because I'm asking on this basis, yeah?
No, at all. The music is communicated via the medium, radio, television.
All right.
We just create the content. So no, we don't have that much power or control of how the music gets people. So that's not really in our jurisdiction. We create the content.
Okay. I'm asking because this is it. One say free abrocheba. You brought this how do we call it? You brought this hip hop, fused it into our high life and created hip life.
Right.
And you rapped so good. So many people were not paying attention to the rap.
Mm-hmm.
Now, rap now, all rap, it be in Ghana hat.
Well, yeah, because I was already doing I was on the original hip hop head.
Yeah. Exactly. And now they rap in the bar. People were like, hey, I did that.
Me rap in the bar, yes.
What the rap in the bar? So then people started paying attention to rap.
Yeah.
So people started listening to rap outside Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hey, someone say want to rap now though. Then they started listening to rap outside Ghana. And I'm say, okay, let's listen to what people have got outside there. Then it created this vibe of people listening to more of Nduma and Freeha. Do you think that was the whole thing?
No. Kids, it's a universal, it was a global village. Kids in Ghana, West Africa, were no different from the kids in Japan. Hip hop is a global phenomenon.
All right.
So they were already tuned into hip hop. They were wearing their hats back to front. They were sagging their jeans. Hip hop is worldwide. So we were no different. The only difference is we claimed our own. And we said, okay, we're going to call our own this.
Okay.
So we had just like you have Amapiano or Kwaito or, Watrinidina or Bohombai. I think the decline in the interest of hip life had to do with, well, there are many factors, but Payola was one of the ones. I'm worrying because Ubu Onoma Charlie zero talent, but Usikanti Aboninum.
Yeah.
So what he's taking up a seat in the car.
I will not correct.
Why seats? Ni place was fast. So once the system got corrupted, when the Kalabule comes in, and Africa, and corruption in Africa, I need not tell you more. So the minute that happened, it diluted talent, So, people like Sock or Blacko might have come earlier, but they probably had to take a backseat because they didn't have the money to go bribe some DJs to play, But just like God works in mystic ways, look what happened.
Yeah.
Like, what you mutai? Nyankopon senior session in normal. So, I say, time, I'll
Me say,
Yeah.
the grandpa me yeah video na play Ghana video na me person me bo kroni din ba ye nuanu me me di matem sa. I'm like, listen, I'm in my territory. I want the music from my territory to go forward.
This is where it got crazy. I would be stupid, dumb, and the most arrogant and ignorant to propose that we do not play Nigerian music.
100% I agree with you.
Yeah, I would never say no dumb
Yeah.
stupid. People insult my intelligence when they come to me with that. But you see, yeah, Crawford, this yeah, asɛm a yɛkɔkae ne sɛ yɛnta yɛ ayɛ deɛ akyi ne yɛmbɔ yɛ deɛ senior Nigeriafoɔ no
Simple
yɛ
as
ɔmo deɛ
that.
no
As
ɔmo
simple as that.
saa na ɔmo yɛɛyɛ.
Eh?
And there
G
was
square money idea.
nowhere in our communication that said don't play
Don't play
Nigerian
Nigerian
music. Are you
music.
crazy? I would
That
never say no shit like that.
exactly.
But Ghanaians now, ɔmo dwane kɔka kyerɛ Nigeriafoɔ.
Almost say
Say
my
yes,
bomb
yeah,
window.
one conference in my yeah, mama, yeah. It was Ghanaians that did that. It wasn't no Nigerians did not know from what was happening until Ghanaians told them.
It's true. And now Osha, the agenda, how can we make it work? What
We need to speak on it like we are right now. We need to pull the coats of people. I've been to places where the DJ is just, it might be an outdoor ring and the DJ is just playing 100 Nigerian songs and somebody's like, damn, ain't about that. He's like, you ain't got yours. So this is where we need to be proactive. We gotta be, the agenda needs to be so deliberate.
yeah.
You gotta be deliberate about it,
I've
and
been
yeah, we deliberately pull people's coats. Yeah.
somebody who has so many important women around him who raised him and
Yeah.
also married to one very important woman.
Most definite.
it's
The wife is very important.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's it's
The queen.
yeah, the wife is important to you, the woman is important to
Most
us.
definite.
The wife is important to you, the woman that is a wife is important to we Ghanaians. Or your Ghanaian assets, so unima.
True.
Krona kasa na yen fa ne be serious nka
I
or
know, right? I
nka
know.
yen di ne ho agro kra. How did you meet her?
We met in a nightclub. I met my wife through my good friend DJ Black. It was a
Wow.
Boomerang Club. Yeah. Oh, when you share it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is she like?
Senior who knows Anote. On the no filters. Anote. And so we're senior member here. Me here obi autism.
Yeah.
Me easy,
True.
But Zilla is very humble as well, with her costume, no
Yeah.
doubt. But she carries herself very, very well. She's a no bullshit woman. She's very outgoing, very bubbly, just like I am. So yeah, it's just we're a good match. We're also very strong headed, very strong personalities, and so yeah.
Um
So it's in the moon is anoti.
if I say that you are blessed to have somebody who is just like you, it's an understatement. The son of how do we call it? One of the biggest, the goat of I kind of say fashion designer in Ghana.
Yes.
and the daughter of like an ex-president, Hilla Limann.
Yes.
And you people having this kind of like as a temperament and
Yeah.
bringing it together. I saying that you guys are blessed is an understatement.
We are definitely blessed, and we are not your normal, average, normal story. But in
Yeah,
the same breath, we are very, very normal. It's
I know.
just
I get it.
circumstantial, and this is our story, and this is our backdrop.
Yeah,
Yes, we do have a rich backdrop, no doubt. It's when you have a combination of such interesting stories merged together. Of course, it's going to be worthy of attention.
yeah,
But we have maintained ourselves, and we are ourselves. We are, like I said, humility seems to be the ruling factor in both of us, and
yeah.
we have passed it on to our children, and so on and so forth. So
Very important.
yeah,
Very, very important. I like the way you just like you support mommy with all the business and all that and how you
yeah.
guys go about it on social media. But how did it start? The watching business.
The Waakye business, we've been doing this for a long time.
Okay.
When we ran the club, Rockstone's office,
Yeah, I'm gonna come on
right? Yeah,
that.
when we run the club, we had a menu, and she not in Yanya Horo menu, no so.
Okay.
But it was all the fried rice, the chicken, the usual.
Yeah.
And she Bana said, yeah, I Pan Africans, no, and yes, there be any. I was a one Ghana dish. Represented. Na me
Yeah.
so me pa wachi pa. Wachi ne ya de tete me ti wachi rough.
Me bagana,
It's
me baho straight.
yeah, it's ya de wachi atoso.
Okay.
But wachi no ebe hete say aduane na wo menus ni nyina. So say yeah.
Okay.
Obia fili na akoye say anadwo wachi so. Nti omo amanfo
Um,
ha omo ba no so omo twa bisa na moko
Young
no ne
Pompwa.
benya ne ho ha obedidi ho. Nti we na we're doing very well. But nobody, it wasn't about Rock's watching because it was about Rockstone's office,
Yeah.
you know. Nti we na eja COVID 19 by
Ah.
to koro by no na I was a disco life no pon. Nti ho na ye bomb pie ebusa Yankopon se on chere direction a nti ɛna yɛtwa yɛ fasting bibia na Nyankopɔn kyerɛ yɛ sɛ aduane deɛ sɛ ɛne koro anaasɛ koro ɛni hɔ anaasɛ wɔ hɔ sɛ nipa didi
Yeah.
ɛna saa aduane na nipa di paa nti deliveries saa time amanfo wɔ fie koro
Yeah.
ba
And the
mopɛ
delivery
aduane no
number.
adi ɛsɛ sɛ wontumi mbɛdi school ba wopɛ buo no bi adi
Ubedidi.
aha nti yɛ started delivery line na afei ɛsɛ okay neɛ saa deɛ wɔ sɛ yɛ brande aduane no nti rocks wakye ɛna ɛbɔ me bɔ sei no rocks wakye ɛna me
Nice
so
one.
marketing deɛ awɔle enyim meyɛ adeɛ wɔ ho ae ɛna medwidwa mu so the food was good. It was already good before. It wasn't just because I attached my celebrity to it. It was already tried, tested, and trusted by the people. And so we just hyped it up more. And then we just made it a full. Now we got branches, and yeah. God is great. God is good
Nice one.
always.
So I was going to ask about the Rockstone's office, but that's what cover. So it was
Yeah.
COVID and a manner as a back.
Something bad brought something good. God works in mysterious ways.
Nice one. Okay. I heard this story about Michelle Zion Felix page and I'm a story I share about TikTok Moko US.
Yeah, my brother. TikTok, yeah, a hard guy.
I tell you. I
TikTok,
tell
then
you.
we can collaborate.
Can you share that story too? Because
Which one? There's so many of them. The limousine.
the limousine.
Also, so wait, sometimes no, not hip life at GT. Charlie, the whole and they acquire. No, say there be Siano, your stars.
Yeah.
Ghana, and your mofa. Taxi, black cab, now with the ship, no, Charlie,
Yeah.
That's the bread myself. Or since I'm a limousine, bro.
One from by young.
I'm from my. He meant it. And almost not much back.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the first time I ever sat in a limousine. I've never been in one. And this is why me and Tick get along. And we have such a great respect for each other because, you know, I'm his older brother, you know.
Yeah.
But Tick has always been, he's just been that upstand guy. He's a no-nonsense guy. He takes his craft seriously. He's, you know, he's, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Tictak is somebody I would love to hear stories from. I think I'll send him a
Tick
DM
got
and
tons,
see
tons of stories, man.
if he'll get up to it and we will do something nice. Yeah, kind of saying anytime I hear about 9/11, the unfortunate thing that happened,
Okay.
because that time no, my papa or old school, so we are going to get like books for the library. Let me shop. And see, yeah, corner. Then not we're releasing Jumba could be a shorty, get away, a bayano. It's not almost but me, yeah, amada. See, Satan no son, not assembly see in about 3 days or 4 days. It was the talk of everywhere. And as I no sono, na I hate it so fresh. Into assembly, yeah, come radio, so near what Tictak and jump. So anytime I hear about 9/11,
it reminds you.
Exactly, it reminds me of that moment. So I would really try and get him on and have some beautiful conversations with him.
Yeah.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Senior.
You're welcome, brother.
I think part 2 will come yet tonight. Back at 2 hours. I had so many questions, but the best here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Grandpapa.
You're welcome, brother.
Definitely there will be a part 2. Thank you very much.
Let me
I'll
know,
leave
right?
you for now.
You.
All right.
Bless you.
You.
You forget it, Ghana.